Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Well, it's an hour of crime drama here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We start off in Big Town. Edward Pawley, the crusading editor of the Illustrated Press. We go back to March 15th, 1959, an episode entitled The Shiny Gun.
Extra, extra! Teenager shoots pal! Here, Big Town story of the shiny gun! Extra, Big Town, extra!
Oh, Billy!
Sonny, I didn't mean to shoot you. I didn't mean it.
No, Mr. Wilson. Not my son. Not my son.
The gun-crazy little fool. I told him to leave my gun alone.
You're the fool, Brown. You're the irresponsible parent. And if that boy dies, you're the one who should go to prison.
Yes, listen to this powerful story of parent delinquency on Big Town, brought to you by Lever Brothers Company, makers of Lifebuoy Health Soap. The story of fighting editor Steve Wilson of the Illustrated Press, whose creed stands for freedom and justice against the forces of intolerance and evil.
The power and the freedom of the press is a flaming sword, that it may be a faithful servant to all the people. Use it justly, hold it high, guard it well.
Now to Big Town and tonight's gripping story of the shiny gun. Of all man's symbols of power and security, the greatest and perhaps the worst is the gun. And this symbol of man's alter ego is the background of tonight's story, in which, reduced to its simplest terms, began on an old coal dock on the waterfront of Big Town as two young boys met for what was to be a tragic rendezvous.
Hey, Billy. Billy the Kid, where are you?
Right here, Sonny.
Did you get it?
Yes, honey. I told you my old man had a gun hidden in his room.
Oh, I'll bet it ain't a real gun.
It is so a real gun, and it'll shoot real bullets.
Let me see it.
Sure. Look at it. You can see from the streetlight at the end of the dock. It's all bright and shiny like the cowboys and bad men use in the movies. Look at how it shines, even out here in the dark.
Yeah, and that makes it no good.
What do you mean it's no good? It's a 6-shooter.
'Cause you oughtn't be able to see a gun in the dark.
Who says so?
I know for a fact that a gun ought to be black and dull, so it don't reflect no light. Nobody knows you got the drop on them till it's too late for them to pull their own gun.
Oh, that's a lot of malarkey.
It ain't.
It don't matter if you're quick on the draw.
You can be just as quick with a black gun. Besides, nobody carries shiny guns anymore except sissies and women.
You're just jealous 'cause your old man ain't got a gun.
My old man says only cops ought to have guns. And if nobody else had them, the cops wouldn't need theirs.
Yeah, but a lot of tough guys have got guns, and there ain't enough cops. And my old man says a person's got a right to protect himself.
Yeah, get himself killed 'cause he don't know how to draw quick and shoot straighter than the other guy.
You're just talking that way 'cause you ain't got a gun.
And a smart guy could take that gun away from you before you could pull the trigger or bat an eye.
Oh, yeah? Let me see you try it.
Okay, I'll show you how it's done.
Yeah? Come on, let's see you do it.
First, I get hold of your gun hand.
Yeah, I stick the gun in your stomach.
But I keep you from pulling the trigger.
Oh, yeah?
Billy!
Sonny, I didn't know it was loaded. Where'd it hit you?
In the stomach. Let me down, are you hurt?
I'm sorry, Sonny. I didn't mean it. You're my best pal next to Harmony. Does it hurt bad?
Awful bad. I guess I'm gonna die.
You can't.
You beat it. Phone the cops for a doctor, then hang up quick and hide.
No, Sonny. I oughtn't to leave you here alone.
Go on, Billy. You didn't mean it, but they'll burn you if I die.
I don't care. I gotta do something. Let me see, maybe I can stop the bleeding.
No. It's inside. You die when it's inside. Run, Billy. I hear somebody coming. You heard that shot. Run. Get Harmony to hide Jad. He won't talk. I won't talk. Go on. Run, Billy. Run.
Hey, who's out there on the end of the dock? What's happened?
It's Willie the Weep, the old moocher out of the shanty boat.
Run, Billy, run. You'll get it, Doc. You run and hide. Run and hide.
No, Sonny, I don't want to leave you alone.
Go on. I'm ordering you, Billy. We kids gotta stick together.
Okay, Sonny. So long.
Hey, who's out there on the dock? What's happened?
I got a stall. Give Billy a chance to get away.
Who's that? Who got shot? Who?
Willie the Weep.
Who are you, boy?
Honey Mill.
What happened? Who just run past me in the dark?
Nobody. I was out here alone, fooling with an old gun. I found it. It went off. It hit me in the stomach.
I'll bet anything that ain't so. But it don't matter now. You lay still, Sonny. I'll go and get help as quick as I can.
Steve, when did you get in the office?
A few minutes ago, Lorelei, via the press room. What's up?
I don't know, but Willie the Weep, our Winchell of the waterfront, tried to get you on your private wire and then called Mamie on switchboard.
It must be something important. Willie never has Nicholas's fare.
He wouldn't tell Mamie what it was, but he said he'd call you again in a few minutes.
That might be Willie. Steve Wilson, Illustrated Press.
Mr. Wilson, it's me, Willie the Weep.
Oh, what's up along the waterfront, Willie? I hear you've been calling me.
Yeah, Mr. Wilson, for almost an hour, and this is my last nickel. I had to mooch that.
Oh, sorry, Willie. I'll make it up to you. What happened?
The boy got himself shot out on the old coal dock near my shanty boat.
Good grief. How did it happen?
He said he shot himself in the stomach with an old gun he found in a ash can, but I don't believe it.
Why not, Willie?
Because another kid run past me in the dark when I come out of my shanty boat to see what had happened.
Well, who is the boy who was shot, and where is he?
His name is Sonny Mills, and I called the cops, and an ambulance is taking him to the general hospital.
Well, what did the ambulance doctor say about his chances, Willie?
The doc said his chances ain't very good.
Well, what did Sonny say about the other boy?
Well, Sonny said I was seeing things. There wasn't anybody with him.
What about the gun, Willie?
And Sonny said it fell in the river when it went off.
That could happen. Are you sure there was another boy?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson, and I got a notion. It was either a blind boy called Harmony, on account he's always playing a harmonica, or another pal of Sonny's called Billy the Kid.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah, on account of he likes cowboy moving pictures. So...
Did you tell the police about the other boys, Willie?
No, sir. Sonny begged me not to. He said it would only make trouble for his pals and their folks. And besides, he said I was only seeing things.
I wonder.
I thought there might be something you could do, Mr. Wilson.
There is, Willie. Where does Billy the Kid live, and what's his last name?
His name's Billy Brown, and he lives with his folks at number 10 South Street.
Brown, 10 South Street. What about Harmony, Willie?
Oh, dagnabbit, Mr. Wilson. There goes my last nickel, and we're going to be cut off.
Never mind, Willie. Meet us in front of 10 South Street in 20 minutes.
March 15th, 1949, Big Town on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Big Town, March 15th, 1949, The Shiny Gun.
Now back to Big Town and Steve Wilson's timely story of the shiny gun. Suspecting that a seriously wounded boy is mistakenly shielding his playmates, Steve and Lorelei are on the way to the home of one of the other boys in the cab of Harry the Hack.
Say, boss, Miss Kilburn, is there anything I can do to help in this kid and gun situation?
I don't know, Harry. We're meeting Willie the Weep in front of number 10 South, the home of one of Sonny's playmates.
But that'll be the next block. I'll hang around in case you need me to hack anywhere else.
We may have to find another boy called Harmony.
Hey, I know that kid. He's blind, but he plays harmonica like nobody's business. Blues, classics, anything. He's so good he ought to be on a stage or on the radio.
Oh, he's the one, Harry. There's Willie.
Hello, Mr. Wilson. Miss Kilburn.
Hi, Willie.
Hello, Willie. Have you seen Billy Brown?
No, Miss Kilburn, and none of the other kids in the block have seen him since he went down to the dock early this evening.
Have you talked to his parents, Willie?
No, but just a little while ago, his ma came out of the basement flat where they live, and I heard her asking the neighbors if they'd seen Billy on account it was getting late for him to be out.
Well, it may be much later before he comes home, if what I suspect has happened.
Oh, Steve, you don't suppose he could have shot his friend Sonny?
Let's hope not, Lorelei, but something like that may have happened accidentally.
That Sonny's about the bravest kid I ever seen, Mr. Wilson. He didn't cry once all the time we was waiting for the ambulance, and even when the doc gave him something to help the pain.
Yes, Willie, but it may be a mistake in courage and loyalty that can bring more tragedy to the friend or friends he's trying to protect.
Oh, gee, I wonder how they got hold of that loaded gun.
That may be the real tragedy in this affair, Lorelei. Come on. Let's go talk to Billy's parents and see what they have to say.
It's down those steps, Mr. Wilson. Brown's the superintendent of the building.
Thanks, Willie. Wait here with Harry and see if you can find out where Harmony lives.
We'll ask around, boss.
Oh, there's no need to ring, Steve. Somebody's opening the door. Billy, is that... Oh.
Good evening. I'm sorry. I know you're expecting your son, Billy.
Yes, has something happened?
Yes, one of your son's playmates has been shot.
Shot? Oh, which one? A boy by the name of Sonny Mills. Oh, Sonny. Oh, no. Is he dead?
No, but seriously wounded.
Well, how did it happen? Where's Billy?
We don't know, and Sonny claims he found a gun in an ash can and shot himself accidentally.
Poor Billy. Poor Sonny. Where's my boy, Billy? They're always together, and Billy went out to meet Sonny.
And Billy hasn't been home?
No. No, and it's long past his bedtime to school tomorrow. He's never done this before. Who are you? Are you from the police?
No, I'm Steve Wilson of the Illustrated Press, Mrs. Brown, and this is Miss Kilburn, one of my best reporters.
Reporters? Then it must be serious.
It may be very serious, Mrs. Brown. And we need your help to find your son.
My son? Will he be arrested?
A lot of Sonny Mills sticks to his story that he accidentally shot himself with a gun he found in a trash can, but that isn't important right now.
What is important? What do you mean?
Mrs. Brown, we know there was another boy with Sonny at the time of the shooting. Probably your son, or a blind boy called Harmony.
Yes, they're usually together. What do you think's happened?
I'm very much afraid your son, or Harmony, may be hiding somewhere in this neighborhood.
But why should they hide? If it was an accident, they're all friends, good friends.
Because they may not trust the grown-up justice of the world in which they live, Mrs.
But
Brown.
they'll be found, and it'll look as if they're guilty if they hide.
Yes, Mrs. Brown, that's why we must find them tonight. And I'm afraid there's another reason.
What other reason could there be?
We know Johnny lied about being alone on the dock to protect a friend. He may have lied also about the gun falling in the river.
The gun. Billy may have the gun.
Daddy,
oh, no.
what gun are you talking about? Who are these folks?
They're newspaper people, John.
Well, what do they want, and what's this about a gun? I'm looking for mine.
You're looking for your gun?
Yeah. What business is it of yours?
One of your son's playmates has been shot.
Shot? Why, that little fool.
John, what are you saying?
That's what happened. That's why Billy isn't home. He took that gun after I told him never to touch it again.
You had a gun in this house?
Yes, and a permit for it. You're thinking of making trouble for me?
Trouble for you?
Yes.
You had a loaded gun where your small son could get hold of it.
Yes, and I licked him good the last time I caught him monkeying with it, the gun-crazy little fool.
John, he isn't any more than any other boy.
You're the gun-crazy fool. The irresponsible adult who puts a natural temptation within reach of a child.
I'll beat the daylights out of him when he comes home.
No, John, no, you're wrong. I begged you to get rid of that gun, to hide it, to lock it up.
What if I needed it in a hurry? I'm the super of this building. I'm responsible.
You're irresponsible. Guilty of the worst kind of criminal negligence. If your son shot Sonny Mills and he dies, you're the one who ought to go to prison.
Get out of here, you. Get out of here or I'll throw you out.
No, John, no. They're trying to help find Billy.
I don't want to see that kid again.
Well, you'll never see me again. And I'm going with you, Mr. Wilson. I'm going to help you find Billy if I can, and I want to go to Sonny's mother.
All right, Mrs. Brown. Go with Miss Kilburn.
Come along.
Now get out, Wilson. Get out of here or so help me.
I'm going, and you're so right. So help you. If your gun has killed Sonny Mills. Because it also may kill your son.
Get out. Get out! Get out!
Oh, the poor devil. So help him now.
Boss.
Yes, what is it, Harry?
I got a lead in the harmony kid.
Yes, where is he?
Another kid says he heard him playing his harmonica.
Where?
Down where the street drains pour into the river.
Good grief. Those big drains might make a good hideout.
Yeah, kid could crawl for miles if we didn't get a rain and he got caught and drowned.
Okay, let's go question Harmony, Harry.
Well, what about Mrs. Brown?
I'm afraid of what we may find, Harry. I don't want her along. I'll get Lorelei and take her to the hospital to see Sonny Mills.
the matter, Billy? Stay in that hole in the ground where I hid you. You're safe, hid in the earth.
It's dark in them drain pipes, Harmony.
Don't you be afraid of the dark, Billy. You get used to it after a while. It's always dark where I is, and I ain't afraid anymore. Much.
But, Harmony, what if Sonny dies? I shot him. It's my fault, even if I didn't mean to.
Don't take such a load on yourself, Billy. Let the Lord carry some. He knows what happened.
But if Sonny dies, nobody else will. The cops will find out it was my old man's gun that killed him, and he'll tell them I stole it.
You was kind of unlucky when it was passing out Papa's, Billy. But you was awful lucky when it comes to Mama's. So it sort of cancels out.
This is going to kill my ma.
That's how come you wouldn't have to run away and hide.
They'll put me in a reformatory no matter what happens.
Ain't necessarily so, Billy.
Then why are you helping hide me?
To give you time to think.
What's there to think about if Sonny dies, Harmony? The cops will grab me and an old judge will put me away. They won't believe how it happened. They don't know how I feel.
Don't you be so hard on grown-ups, Billy. Most times they does the best they can when they hands out justice.
Justice? It ain't right.
Don't you be so rough on justice, Billy. Most folks what yells for justice yells loudest when they get it. What most of us want is understanding, and that's hard for grumps to give young'uns like us, 'cause they're a long way up from where we is. But don't be too hard on them, Billy. 'Cause before long, we're going to be grown-ups too, you know.
But, Harmony, what am I going to do if Sonny dies?
If the Lord lets that happen, he's got a reason, Billy. Then you got to quit hiding in the ground. Only the dead stay in the ground, and they ain't hiding, just resting their weary bones and waiting for the judgment day.
What am I going to do with this gun, Harmony? It got me in all this trouble.
Things like gun don't get us in trouble, Billy. No more than the fire that put out my eyes. It's us, Billy, 'cause we do bad things with guns.
How can you know so much, Harmony? Sound like a grown-up.
Time kind of collapses itself in the dark, Billy. You got more time to think about things.
Harmony, there's a car stopping over there. Maybe the cops.
You get back in the drain.
You won't tell? You won't give me away?
I won't give you away. You get back in the dark and think. I won't give you away.
Hello, Harmony.
Oh, mister. What do you want down here by the river?
I'm looking for something that's lost.
The world's full of lots of things, mister. Who are you? The law?
No, Harmony, a newspaper man. Steve Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, the racket buster? I've heard of you, and it ain't bad.
Oh, thanks, Harmony. I've heard of you, and it's all good. Mind if I sit down?
Sure.
Go on playing.
You didn't come here to hear me play my harmonica, mister.
No, Harmony. And I didn't come here to ask you to betray a friend.
That's good. That's awful good.
I'm sure you heard about what happened to your friends tonight. Sonny Mills was shot with a gun, and his friend Billy Brown has disappeared. You've heard all this, of course.
Sure, Mr. Wilson. I don't see anything, but hardly anything happens along the waterfront I don't hear about. I got plenty of time for hearing, listening, so you just keep on talking.
All right, Harmony. Now, this is the way I see it. Two friends of yours are in trouble because of the stupidity of someone else. Someone older, supposedly wiser, belonging to that grown-up world that makes the rules and laws of right and wrong by which your generation must live until you're old enough to change them, or grow to understand the reason for their seeming injustice.
Keep on talking, Mr. Wilson. A little louder.
What was that splashing sound, Harmony?
Just water, splashing against something stuck in the drains. Don't pay no attention to it. Just keep on talking.
I'm not really talking to you, Harmony. I know you're not directly involved in this tragedy.
Don't matter. Keep on talking. The night's got a lot of ears, Darkness does a lot of listening.
All right, Harmony. And I wish your friend Billy the Kid could hear me, would listen to me. Man to man or boy to boy, whichever is the easiest way for us to try to bridge the years between us.
What would you say to him if he was here, Mr. Wilson?
I don't know, Harmony. What would you say?
I'd say,
March 15th, 1949, Big Town on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A conclusion follows these messages from your favorite station. Just when you thought it couldn't get any better, Mike Lindell and MyPillow launching the MyPillow 2.0. Now, when Mike invented MyPillow, it had everything you could want in a pillow. Now, nearly 20 years later, he's discovered a new technology that makes MyPillow even better. Of course, the patented adjustable fill of the original MyPillow, but now with brand new fabric with a temperature-regulating thread, it's the softest, smoothest, and coolest pillow you'll ever own. Say goodbye to tossing and turning and flipping your pillow over in the middle of the night. And more great news on the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer with my promo code Wyatt. MyPillow 2.0 is 100% made in the USA, 10-year warranty, 60-day money-back guarantee. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio podcast square to receive the MyPillow 2.0 buy one, get one free offer. Use my promo code Wyatt or call 1-800-928-4715. Now the conclusion of Big Town, Edward Pawley starring as Steve Wilson, March 15th, 1949, The Shiny Gun.
Quit hiding. Come out of the ground and give up that shiny gun. I'd say, come out. Come out wherever you are.
Harmony. You told him, Harmony. You might as well have told him I was hiding in there.
You could have run through the drains, Billy. You didn't have to come out. But you come out all on your own.
'Cause I've been in there in the dark, thinking like you said. I know I can't keep on running away.
So take the second step on the road back, Billy.
What's that, mister?
Give me that cause of all your trouble. That shiny gun.
No. I won't give it to you.
All right, then. Throw it away, Billy. Throw that shiny gun into the river.
No, I won't.
Why not, Billy?
'Cause I ain't made up my mind what I gotta do with this gun. If Sonny died.
Now back to Big Town and to Steve Wilson as he faces a heartbroken young boy who has accidentally shot his best friend in tonight's timely story of The Shiny Gun.
Don't you come near me, Mr. Wilson. Don't you try to get this gun away from me, or I'll run back into the drains and nobody will ever see me alive again.
I'm sorry, Billy.
What are you sorry about?
I shouldn't have asked for that gun. I don't want it. I hate guns and all they stand for.
But you want to turn me over to the cops for what I did to Sonny Mills?
No, Billy, there's no charge against you. No officers are hunting you because no one has accused you of any crime. Even Sonny, the boy you shot with that shiny gun.
How is Sonny? Is he gonna die?
The doctors at the hospital are doing everything they can to save him, Billy. And he's fighting for his life. And yours by sticking to a white lie through all his suffering. Can't you match his courage by facing whatever is to come?
I want to, Mr. Wilson, but I'm afraid of what'll happen.
We're all afraid, Billy. That's why some of us lean on guns, like crutches, to hold us up. Only to find that they drag us down. Isn't that true, Harmony?
Yeah, Mr. Wilson. My pappy was killed, shooting it out with another man. They both died, and it didn't settle nothing. Nothing at all.
Harmony. You never told me about that. You never said why you hated guns when I wanted us to play cowboys and Indians or cops and robbers.
Sometimes, some things is too much to talk about, Billy.
Mr. Wilson. Mr. Wilson.
Yes, Billy.
Would you take this gun, please?
Are you sure, Billy? Are you sure you want to give up that shiny gun?
Yes, Mr. Wilson. Please take it. Please.
Good boy, Billy. You've won your battle with that gun. Now let's go to the hospital and help Sonny win his fight for life. Friends, the results of tonight's story of the shiny gun were both happy and tragic. Happy in that young Sonny Mills lived and Billy was paroled in the custody of his mother. But tragic because in many of our states there are no laws to punish the irresponsible parent who possesses and leaves a deadly weapon within easy reach of a child. But law or no law, hundreds are killed each year by carelessly handled guns. Needlessly, criminally. Don't let it happen to you. Or yours.
How about next week, Steve?
Well, next Tuesday, we'll bring you a really different kind of story, headlined The Deadly Summons.
Tonight's dramatization, all names, times, and places are fictional. Big Town features Edward Pawley as Steve Wilson, Fran Collin as Lorelei, and is written and directed by Jerry McGill.
Edward Pawley had big shoes to fill when Edward G. Robinson left this program, but he put his own spin on it and made it his own. Big Town, March 15th, 1949, on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, we have another episode of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is a difficult one, Part 4 of the 5-part Clinton matter. Arson, murder, and, I don't want to say espionage, but it's fraud. This episode originally broadcast on March 15th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
Al Davis, Johnny. We're on our way.
What?
Yeah, we're in Grand Junction now. We ought to be in Clinton in 3 hours. Renting a couple of cars. I brought help.
I can use it, Al. There's been a murder here.
What?
Last night, a building inspector named Richard Hobbs staggered into my room, tried to tell me something, but died before he could get it out. He'd been shot 3 times.
Now, look, you be careful. Don't do anything until we get there. That's an order.
Yes, sir.
Tonight and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the United Adjustment Bureau, 418 West 61st Street, New York City. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Clinton matter. Expense account item 13, 60 cents breakfast. I had it sent up to my room. Right behind the bellhop appeared the tall figure of Sheriff Doherty.
How about inviting me for a cup of coffee?
Sure. Sit down. Help yourself, Sheriff.
Thank you. You know, you're a mighty lucky man.
In what way?
I was almost holding you for murder, boy. That Hobb fella.
Oh, that, yeah. You're looking into it, I suppose.
Yep, we're looking into it.
I hesitate to ask, but are you getting anywhere?
We figure he was shot sometime last night. Found his car downstairs all smeared up. Might have driven in from someplace.
Where?
We don't know.
Well, do you know he blew town when the school fire broke out?
We talked to Mrs. Hobb.
I talked to her myself.
Yeah. Naturally, we want to find out everything we can about this matter. Now, Hobb came up here last night and died in this room of gunshots. Why do you suppose he came here?
I never knew the man, Sheriff. I talked to someone who did know him once. She said he'd been a pretty decent man at one time. If you and Chief Hanley and Vickery didn't tell him to leave town when that fire broke out, he might have told me himself. His conscience might have hurt him about passing a building that never could have stood an inspection.
Go on.
He might have heard that I was in town investigating it. He might have gotten sick and tired of the cheap, rotten little schemes here in Clinton and come back to help me straighten it out.
You don't think much of our town, do you?
Not the way it is, Sheriff. And I don't think much of you.
In that case, I'll just try to keep out of your way.
Do that.
You do the same, Dollar. Here.
2 hours later, Al Davies and a contingent of special operatives arrived in Clinton. Toby O'Brien from Continental States Insurance. Rob Schwartz and the Minx twins from Columbia Adjustment, giving us a friendly hand. Todd Weaver, who just finished a case with the Canadian Adjusters Limited. Lou Doniger and Thad Thomas from Chicago. A pretty imposing group of expert investigators.
Well, Johnny, you look okay.
Yeah, still in one piece. Hiya, Thad, Lou.
Fine.
You want to get the door, Toby?
Sure.
Oh, sit down there, sir.
Now, this isn't any vacation trip, boys. We're all going to have to roll up our sleeves. All right, Johnny, you want to break it down?
Yeah, all right. Well, this is a big one, fellas. If you'll all sit, I'll bring you up to date.
Yeah, sure.
No, sit right there. 3 days ago, I came here on a tip that building irregularities were suspected in the new school building. The man who tipped the insurance company was the janitor, name of Julian Osborne. I never talked to Osborne because he died in the fire that destroyed that building. I did talk to the man who designed the building. His name is David Baines. He claims none of his specifications were followed in the construction. So that's why it caught fire and went down so fast. His statement right here. Now, I talked to the school principal, Florrie Hawkins. She supports Baines' statement. I wanted most of all to get a statement from the building inspector who passed the building, Richard Hobb. Hobb was murdered last night.
No wonder you need help.
All right, now, the sheriff, the fire chief, and the building contractor are all in on it. And there are too many leads for one man to follow, too many people for one man to talk to. The sheriff is making an investigation of Hobbs' murder, but we'd better make our own. Now, you, Toby, and you, Thad, Hobbs, your job. Find out everything about him, his bank account, his friends, his troubles, everything. Especially who killed him. His widow's Lucille Hobb. I met her last night.
Leave it to him to find the woman.
Okay, now. Rob?
Yeah?
Your man is the building contractor, Roy Vickery. He's big and tough and shrewd, and he talks softly. He owns and runs the whole show, if I'm guessing right. Now, take Toby and run Vickery down. Bank accounts, purchase orders, what kind of money he spends, and so on. Jim and Al Minx?
Yo.
All right, you two, find out everything you can about Julian Osborne, the janitor who was burned to death. I want Lou Doniger to stick close to Fire Chief Hanley. Same thing. Everything and anything you can get on him. Al, you can handle Sheriff Doherty. The rest of you spread out. Start talking with anybody in town who might know anything. When you find one who's sick and tired of watching their town being run by a pack of hoodlums, send them up here to the room. We'll try to get statements from them making specific charges, Al.
Yeah.
I want to guarantee every one of them security. So take them down to Denver, give them protection until it's safe to walk the streets here.
If that's necessary, I'll arrange it.
It's necessary. All right, now report back to me anytime you want. Don't push anybody around. Don't let anybody push you around. Okay, let's get to work. 8 strange men moving through Clinton, Colorado, asking questions were as conspicuous as I wanted them to be. I knew everybody in the little town would be hearing about them and watching them. And sooner or later, I hoped that would pay off. An hour went by before I got any action. Johnny Dollar.
You the fellow with the insurance company?
Yeah, that's right. Who's this?
Never mind. You're taking a lot of chances around here.
We're going to take lots more. Do you have anything to say?
Yeah. My name's Earl Kennedy. I'd like to talk to you.
Name the place.
You go down and stand in front of your hotel. I'll drive by and pick you up.
I went down and stood in front of the Northern Hotel. 5 minutes passed. 10 minutes. And then a car drove up. 2 men in the front seat, 3 in the back. One of them leaned out.
Dollar?
Yeah.
Come on, get in.
Better turn here, Earl. Head out toward Conifer.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Earl Kennedy, construction foreman on the school.
Hi. I thought you were going to be alone.
Man next to you is Frank Gibson.
I'm the city editor of the Clinton Times.
Those three boys in the back are Chuck Borden, Pete Geiger, and John Newton. They all worked for me on the construction.
Hi.
We seen the guys you brought into town.
Really?
Some pretty heavy boys. You know, the town's a little edgy with all that's happened. Fire, the janitor getting burned, murder of Dick Hobb.
None of which were caused by any of my investigators.
How long are they going to be in town?
As long as they have to be. We're going to get to the bottom of all this.
How many did you bring in?
8. I'll bring in 80 if I have to.
Aren't you talking kind of big?
This is a big job.
Yeah. This far enough?
Turn in here.
Now what?
Just want to talk to you. Well?
Yeah. We're all willing to make statements, Dollar. I can charge Vickery with shortchanging the city on materials. These guys in the back seat will tell you the same thing.
They came to me to ask my advice. I told them to talk to you, see what kind of man you are. I'll print anything that's the truth.
Well, that'd help a lot, Mr. Ibsen.
The paper's at your disposal, provided it's the truth.
Fair enough. All of you be willing to testify?
I am.
Okay. Now, a couple of other things. First, about Richard Hobb.
You tell him, Frank.
Hobb had big ideas, and he played ball with Vickery and the rest of them.
It also looks like he was murdered because he was going to try to make it right. Now, about Roy Vickery.
He was born here in Clinton, brought up here. He's built about 1/3 of the structures in this town. Every one of them standing today. Every one except the school.
Any angle on that?
Your insurance, $200,000.
Okay. Where can I get a copy of the actual purchase orders used in the building?
From Vickery, but I don't think he'd let you have them, if he's still got them.
Well, he gave me specifications that look like forgeries. I want the real thing. I'll have to have the real thing.
Well, let me look around. Now, when and where do we make the statements?
Let's go over to my hotel room and do it right now.
Better use the newspaper office. You're probably being watched by now, Mr. Dollar.
Expense account item 14, $10, legal fees. 2 hours later, I hired a notary to attest the sworn statements of Earl Kennedy, Frank Gibson, Charles Borden, Peter Geiger, and John Newton. They were damaging statements that would bear considerable weight in a courtroom, but they were not enough to bring the matter before a court. Al Davies was waiting for me when I got back to my hotel room.
Hi.
Hi.
Come here.
What is it?
We've got friends.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 7.
Mm-hmm. They've been gathering around the hotel now for the last hour or two.
Any of the boys run into trouble yet?
No, none they couldn't handle. This could be ticklish, though, Johnny.
Huh?
Well, if those down there provoked an open showdown.
Yeah, that might be the idea. We aren't ready for anything like that yet.
We're getting there.
Come in. Well, hello, Sheriff. This is Mr. Davies, our chief inspector.
Davies, are you the man who brought these troublemakers into town?
I brought 8 assistants with me, Sheriff.
They're troublemakers. They've been going around asking questions, upsetting folks, getting in the way. I'd hate to see any of them get hurt.
Like with those out there on the street?
Those men out there are a group of indignant citizens who came to see me in a body and protested this investigation and the way it's being handled.
They look more like hired bully boys, Sheriff.
I'm asking you and Mr. Davies to withdraw these men you have working in Clinton. I'm asking you to do that by sundown.
Suppose we don't, Sheriff.
Then you'll take the consequences.
Now, wait a minute.
What?
I don't want to keep you in a state of suspense, Sheriff. We're willing to take the consequences.
What?
If that crew out there shoot as well as they look, they're pretty rough people to go up against. Let me tell you, every man in this investigation is armed. We won't be intimidated, shoved around, or bullied by you, those bums out there, or anyone in this town. Now, you tell that to Mr. Vickery and Chief Hanley. And then you go home and stand in front of a mirror, Sheriff, and tell it to yourself. You gave us till sundown to get out. I'm giving you until sundown to resign as sheriff. Now, if you don't do that, I'll see that you're forced out of office. Now, what do you think of that?
You must feel mighty strong to talk like that.
See this, and this, and this. These are all sworn statements from people in this town who aren't afraid of you and Vickery and the others. You'd be surprised how many other people around here are on the verge of making statements, on the verge of not being scared of you anymore. So where are we, Sheriff?
I'm gonna kill you.
Not now, you aren't. Go on, get out of here.
I'll kill you, Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about the final exciting episode of this week's story.
Tomorrow, the end and the beginning of Clinton, Colorado. It all happens when the smoke clears. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Be sure to join us tomorrow night, same time and station, for the next exciting episode of Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
It's getting very, very tense. Something is going to blow in Clinton. And I think it's going to be for the best in the long run. March 15th, 1956, yours truly, Johnny Dollar, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Hey, thank you for making us a part of your day. Please thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around here on your favorite radio station. We appreciate them very much, and we appreciate you. Hope you'll come visit my webpage, classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There, you can stream our show on demand. We're still producing 21 hours a week of classic radio programs. You can also find our social media links. You can find information on building a classic radio collection of your own. You can contact me, or if you like, you can buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee money goes directly to helping us acquire additional classic radio collections and help us maintain our distribution channels. That's all at classicradio.stream. Thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends the greatest radio shows of all time are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.